Okay, so this will go in your notes for section 1. This one will go in the notes for section 1.1. And it's called points, lines, and planes. I should explain too, like I have 2 geometry classes. Sometimes I record in this block and then upload it. Sometimes I record in my other block. So it may not be exactly identical on the notes if I go through some other questions or something, but it'll be close. Okay? Okay, first we need to go through some definitions that the author goes through. And there are 3 main. Is a point, and it is a basic, undefined term of geometry. A point is a location. A point is a location. In a figure, points are represented. In a figure, points are represented by a dot. Now, so on your paper, it's just going to look like this. It's just going to look like a dot. Okay? And points are named using uppercase or capital letters. Like I might label this as point A. Now I might label this one as point B. So we're going to use uppercase or capital letters every time you represent a point. And points are not just on paper on a plane. You know, you've got infinite number of points out here in space. Okay? And then they define, the author defines the term collinear. Okay, collinear, that means points that all lie on the same line. Points that all lie on the same line. They are collinear. So if I draw a line, and a line, if you draw a line, you need to make sure you put an arrow on both ends. And collinear would mean, like if I say I have 3 points, let's say this is point C, point D, and point E. C, D, and E are collinear. They all lie on the same line. And with that, we better define line. A line is a basic, undefined term of geometry. Okay, a line is made up of points. A line is made up of points and has no thickness or width. A line is made up of points and has no thickness or width. In a figure, a line has an arrowhead at each end. Lines are named with lowercase script letters. Lines are named with lowercase script letters or by writing capital letters for 2 points on the line with a double arrow, and I'll show you what this looks like, with a double arrow over the pair of letters. Let me repeat that. Lines are named with lowercase script letters or by writing capital letters for 2 points on the line with a double arrow over the pair of letters. So, example. Need an arrow at both ends. Say this is point C and this is point D. A lot of times they will use a script letter, and I'm going to use like a script L for line. Okay, so I could call that line L. You know, I could call it line L, or I could call it line CD, and you put the symbol above it with an arrow on both ends. Could I do it this way? Yes, that's the same. So as a grader, grading in here, you got to pay attention. If I put up here on the answers, if I put CD like this, line CD, is that the same as this line? Yes. So don't count this wrong. Okay? I'm not going to list it both ways on my answer. You just as a grader are going to have to know. Okay? So you can always use 2 letters, any 2 letters. If they, let's say I go ahead and put an E over here. Okay? Then I could say this line was CE, EC, DE, ED. Did I go through all of them? Those are all the same line. So if the more points they put on the line, the more confusing it is to grade. Okay? Okay, we've done a point, a line. The third definition is a plane. Okay? A plane is a basic, undefined term of geometry. I'm calling them definitions, but really they're not. I'm just basically describing how we label them. Okay, it's a plane is a flat surface made up of points that has no depth and extends indefinitely. In a figure, a plane is represented. In a figure, a plane is represented by a shaded or slanted figure, or slanted figure. Oh, figures, hang on. Okay, they might draw a plane like this. it would represent like a plane. You might think of a plane as a sheet of paper. This would be considered a plane. Even though we draw it this way, you have to visualize it as extending out in all directions. The floor would be a plane. The ceiling's a plane. This wall's a plane. My desktop's a plane. Your desktop's a plane. Okay? But the only way we can draw it is like this. Okay? And usually they're gonna end up, you know, maybe shading it with something so it looks a different color in your book. Okay? Now, label in there points. Let's say this is point A, this is point B, and point C. And remember on those, you always have to use uppercase letters for points so that we're consistent. You can also use, on lines, we did lowercase script letters. This was a lowercase script letter. But on planes, we do an uppercase script letter. So if I do an uppercase, like that's plane E, okay? Okay? Plane E, or you can also name a plane by 3 points, okay? Like I could say it's plane ABC, as long as they are not collinear. They cannot all be on the same line. Okay, so planes are usually named by capital or uppercase, by capital script letters. In the book, it's going to look kind of like it's italic. Like instead of my B for a point looks like this. This is my B for a plane. Okay? So you got to have some little curves to it. Okay? My D for a point might look like this, but my D for a plane would look like that. Okay? Okay, or if you don't like the script letters, or by 3 non-collinear points on a plane. So I named this plane up here, I named it plane ABC. Could I have named this plane BCA? Yes. Could I have named it CAB? Yes. Okay, so if I put it this way on my answer key, you got to know the other 3 letters are correct. Okay, so collinear we said was on the same line. The next thing the author defines is coplanar. Coplanar are points that lie in the same plane. Okay? Points that lie in the same plane. Okay, now I want to go through some examples with you. Put these in notes too. Sometimes I use EX, and that just stands for example, so you know I'm going through something. Use the following. Here's the directions. Use the following figure to name each. When you draw this, it looks like a parallelogram where these 2 lines are supposed to be parallel to each other. These 2 are supposed to be parallel to each other. And it doesn't matter if you slant it this way or if you slant it this way. That doesn't matter. Okay, and this, put a script B. Put a line with an arrow at both ends. On that line, put an uppercase J, not script, K, and L. Over here, put a point M. And down here, put a script A, lowercase a. Okay, part A. Name a line containing point K. Okay, now we're going to go through several answers. What's one way, raise your hand, what's one way to name that line? Tanner. Nope. 2 letters. Pick 2. Any 2 of those 3. JK. And you have to have this symbol above it. Would I accept it without that symbol? No. Ruby? JL. Correct. Braxton, you had your hand up. A. Script A. Yes. We got some more. KL. Yes. We got some more. Do they have to be in that order? LK. Keep going. LJ. Keep going. K. KJ. Is that all of them? I think we're nearing the end. Did you get the idea?
Yeah.
As a grader, okay, if I have on my answer key, this is tricky in geometry. It's like you got to be alert when you're grading, and you got to be alert when you get your paper back. Because if your answer was JK, if my answer up here was JK and you had LJ and your grader counted it wrong, you got to be willing to fight for your answer. Okay, make sense? Okay, part B. They want you to name a plane containing point L. Raise your hands. One answer. There's more than one answer. Is it Riley? Riley?
Yeah.
What is it?
Plane B.
Yes. More.
Plane JK.
Plane J, K, nope. Can't be collinear. Amanda?
Plane
L. And then what was the second one? MK. Yes, Riley, did you get it fixed?
Yeah.
Plane, oops, plane what? What's another one?
Plane M. Or JMK.
Those are non-collinear. Several answers, keep going. The only answer you can't do is JKL, right? Any of those other 3, right?
So plane A.
No, A's a line. Braxton, say it again. KLM, yes. You see that you would have several possibilities? Any of these 3 points, you can't do the JKL. You can do JKM, JLM, MJK, MKL. You get the idea? Okay, so as a grader, you got to pay attention to that. Okay, now let's look at homework. Okay? Let's go open your books up or iPads. If you don't have it on your iPad, go grab a book. If you'd rather have a book, that's fine. We're done with notes. Now I want to look at your assignment, and we're not grading this. You're looking at your own. Go to page 9. And this is something, people, from now on, don't wait on me. You should already have your book, which your book is your iPad. So have it ready to go. Okay? Okay, let's look at We did 13 through 47, the odds. Let's look at those first. Okay, and you did not have the answers, so we're going to go through them. Okay, and I'm gonna read answers, and then you will come back and go through questions. Okay, so let me go through all the answers. Okay, on number 13, hang on a minute.